Hello, everyone. My name is Perry Hostetler, and I have the privilege of bringing you the 8th episode of the On Mission vlog. And we release this every other week to basically say and encourage followers of Jesus on what it means to be on mission for Him. How do we follow Jesus? What are the best practices in doing that? What are things we need to be thinking about as we follow Jesus? And so today, the big thing that I want us to consider and to think about is this question. Should we be doing church differently? Right now is a time in the midst of the coronavirus that we really have had a lot of opportunity to think. And a lot of things are changing within our society, some good, some bad. Some of you may agree or disagree with what's happening. But no matter what, we are in this situation, whether we like it or not. And so there is a lot to think about. And I think that if we don't take this opportunity to think about the church, we are going to be missing a huge opportunity. And if you look at the church before the coronavirus, or BCV, I think you will notice that there were some things that we were doing that weren't good. Think about it. We have made church in the Western world, in Western culture, a building. We've made it a gathering that happens once a week. And in reality, that was never the intention of the church. The church was never supposed to be about a building. And it was never supposed to be just about this gathering that happened once a week. In fact, the early church got together on a regular basis, every single day. But that is what we made it. We made following Jesus, we reduced it down to trying to live a good life and getting together once a week. And that is not what we were called to do. And I think this is very similar to an event that happened in Genesis chapter 11, all the way back in the Old Testament. Noah and his family had just survived the flood that had destroyed the whole earth because God decided to hit the reset button. People were so bad, he knew that they would not follow him no matter what he did, no matter what they did. They were going to continue to live their sinful lives. So he sent this flood. And then when the waters recede and Noah and his family all come out of the ark, he gives them this instruction. He says, go into the world, be fruitful, multiply, and subdue it. Rule over it. Take care of it. Be a part of it. Do not stay in one place, in other words. But of course, what do they decide to do? They decide to stay in one place and do their own thing. And over time, they again began to sin. They again began to do their own thing and do it for their own glory. In fact, apparently they had advanced so much in this one area that they decided that they were so awesome that they were going to build a huge tower called the Tower of Babel in their own glory. In other words, they were basically saying, you know what, God? We don't need you. We don't want to follow what you've told us to do. We're going to do our own thing because we are so awesome. We're going to build this tower to make sure that everybody knows how awesome we are. Well, God looked at this, and of course, he saw history repeating itself. People were doing terrible things again. They were rejecting him again, and we were created for him. So we had completely missed our purpose again as a group of people, and so he decided to confuse the people by making their languages completely different. So now you have friends who no longer can understand each other. And as a result, they disperse through the world, exactly what God had told them to do in the first place. And so it was almost like God said, you know what? I'm going to send an event down to you and make you rethink things, and you're going to do what I've asked you to do. And unfortunately, I do feel like this period of time has been that for the church. I do think that history tends to repeat itself in some ways. And I believe that the church missed its purpose in many ways, especially in the United States, and I think in much of the Western world, because of what we've reduced it to be. You see, when Jesus left, he said, here's your mission. Go and make disciples of all nations, teaching them everything I've commanded you, and baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. But instead, by reducing it to just one Sunday a week, we basically professionalized ministry. And we said, you know what, our pastors, our missionaries, they're the ones who do the ministry. The rest of us just kind of do our lives on a day-to-day basis, and we leave the ministry up to them. But that was not the intention in any way. We were all called to go and make disciples. And so I really do feel like this is an opportunity for us to rethink things. If you are not in a group of other believers who are meeting on a regular basis. I think you're missing the mark. I think you're missing the opportunity for people to encourage you and to develop you so that you can go and make disciples. We don't know when Jesus is coming back, but it could be any single day. And so that means that we need to utilize every single one of our days as an opportunity to spread his love and his message. That is our purpose as a follower of Jesus. And unfortunately, I do think that we just get into routines of work, coming home, being with our family, spending a little time watching TV or watching their sporting events, and repeating that until we get to Sunday morning, where we spend an hour to 2 hours a week spending time with Jesus. Maybe you even serve the other service a little bit to help out a little bit. And yes, that is being on mission to some extent, but it is not what he's called us to. It is way bigger than a Sunday morning gathering, because that's not the church. The church is the people. We are the church, and we are called to go and reach other people for Jesus, because their lives depend on it. Their eternities depend on it. And so we want to go and love them with everything we have. This last Sunday I had the opportunity to preach, and the bottom line was, when you see a need, you do something awesome. The problem is that if you're not in relationship with the people around you, you aren't going to be able to see the needs in their lives to do something awesome. And that's one of the ways that we can spread the gospel, is by loving the people around us in a way that doesn't make sense to them, in a way that makes them ask questions. But in order to do that, we have to be in relationship with them. And it has to be more than just a working relationship. It has to be more than just a typical neighbor relationship here in the United States, where you just talk about the weather and, you see them the next day as you come home from work and walk the dog out to go to the bathroom and things like that. You need to invite people into your homes. You need to spend real time with them. You need to go out to eat with them. You need to spend time at each other's kids' functions. Those are all opportunities to build relationships. But we need to also do that with intention. We need to do it with the intention of, when we see those needs, that we can do something awesome to help them and love on them. But also to take advantage of opportunities to share the message of Jesus with them, to let them know that God loves them so much that he sent his son to die for them. And that can take time, but if we're doing it with intention, it doesn't take nearly as much time as you think it will. If you've ever been on a mission trip, you know a lot can happen within a week. But the difference is the intention at which you go after it. And so if we have a level of intention or a sense of urgency as we go out, we can make a huge difference. And I know some of you are saying, Pastor Perry, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to spread the gospel. That's where those groups are so important, because those groups are designed to help equip you. That is where Sunday mornings are important, because Sunday mornings are designed to help equip you. But it is not just enough to just do it on Sunday morning. Those groups are there to really get to know you and be a part of your life, to encourage you to be on mission. And so the next time you go to work, be looking for those opportunities. If you're a factory worker, your job might be to create a product by the end of the day. Or at least you're part of that product. But your mission, your purpose, is to spread the love of Jesus. So how can you do that to your coworkers? How can you share the message and story of Jesus with them? How can you take advantage of the opportunities that you have during lunch or breaks or even while you're working to talk about who Jesus is and what he's done for you in your life? And the same is true when you're done working. How can you do that with your families? How can you do that with your neighbors? And like I said, there are some different ways you can do that, but a lot of it is really just being a really good neighbor and in actually inviting them into your life and spending some time with you. So in the weeks to come, we are going to be diving in more to this and trying to take advantage of this Tower of Babel moment in our lives, where we can rethink the way we do church. Because, like I said before, we've all been called to be on mission. Now it's just a matter of doing it. So feel free to tune in and check this out. Every other week on Thursday or Friday, we release a new episode here on whatever medium you're watching right now, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, or if you're listening on Podbean podcasts. Those are all different opportunities for you to see the next episode as well. And so I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comment section below. Feel free to share this and spread the word around, because I want to be able to do this and help equip you to be on mission as a follower of Jesus. So I look forward to seeing you all in a couple weeks.